now?
We must be missing someone. I hope Catherine finds her way. Anyway, so this is what I was trying to tell you. Hopefully this will work out better. I'm actually coming in through Zoom instead of through YouTube, and I think this is a much better connection. So here are the big dates. This is what's happening. This is the last week for the bonus days. Spend $50, you make $5. You get to spend it in August for the new, when the new holiday catalog goes live. So 3 August is the last day that you can spend that. Now, I'm going to post the new paper pumpkin for August. Is going to be on the theme of heroes. So you will see that post on all my websites if you're interested in subscribing, or if you're already a subscriber. And I'm going to, we had a very successful workshop. Here are the cards that I made last week using the peony set. And this is what I turned them into. I haven't even put them on my blog yet because I've been so busy, but I turned them into gorgeous sympathy cards using vellum, using white. And then this was the lovely card, the lovely peony, using that glimmer paper that I made during the weekend during my workshop, where we did the pop-up, the tab pull card. There's the tab pull card. It was really easy to make. I will be offering another folds workshop next month. I'll be sending that out. So that workshop, if you missed it, it will still be offered. I'm looking at probably the 15th of August for the fancy folds. And then I'm looking at either the 22nd or the 29th. I'd like to do a box class and a workshop. I want to make this entire set. If you buy a bundle, there are some special things that you're going to have to need. I will have a list of supplies because you're going to need some envelopes and some pieces and parts to make this work, to make sure you have all the pieces. But you can use any bundle you want. You can make it an autumn project. You can make it a Christmas project. You can make it a birthday project, any project that you want. I'm really, really happy and pleased when I do a technique-based or a demonstration-based class, that you get to pick your own products, because if you go on my Stamping Fusion site, you will see the fantastic results that that some of the people like Tina and even Amy have provided. They really showed some really nice things that they make, and it kind of allows us to like use all our supplies, whether our supplies are new or they're retired. It doesn't matter. We just get together and we learn some new techniques and different ways that we can use what we have. So I'll keep a lookout for that. This will be on my blog. I'll probably include it in my newsletter. So that's pretty much August. I'm also looking for ideas that or challenges that you may have for any of for anything that you would like to see demonstrated, that I can provide you. Okay. One of the things that I want to do, though, this is kind of a special thing. Let me go over to my desktop because I can't open the catalog. Oh shucks. All right, next week I can open it next week. All right, we'll go deeper into products next week. All right, so let me go ahead and put these aside and let me show you what we're going to do today. This is the card we're going to put together, right? This is called the KITE Fold Card. And it's just very simple. All right. And I'm going to show you how to do this. But then look what you can do with it. You can dress this thing up. Isn't that pretty? You can dress it up. You can have a wonderful sentiment in there. And then you can go ahead and you can have the inside of the card. I really thought this was kind of neat. Again, whenever I look and I try to come up with a project for you on Wednesdays, sometimes I surprise myself because I look at it and I'm like, well, you know, it looks kind of, even though it has a flower, because there was a certain the certain people say they didn't want any more flowers, I had to throw a flower on there. But let me answer Jackie's question here. You can order on 4 August, the mini goes live. So here is the KITE Fold card. It is deceivingly simple, but like I said, there's a lot of ways you can dress this up and kind of make it go pow. Now, I do my homework and I kind of look around and see what other people are doing because, I want to give you ideas, but I also want to, show you things that I may have learned somewhere else. This is a cute card. Some demonstrators that I've seen demonstrate this particular type of card have made it bigger. And they've also put a little piece of Velcro to keep it closed, okay? Because they will use this as a place to put a gift card. You could put a gift card, or maybe you could put a little pocket for money if you make this a birthday card. Now, what's really neat about this is because this is kind of an up and away type of card, I went through and looked at and just went through and found, I just kind of want to go through all the neat stamp sets I thought that kind of lend themselves to, sending and going somewhere. Here's Above the Clouds. Let Your Dreams Soar. That's a cool one. This one I like because you can always put something on a kite and say, sending hugs. Anytime that you have a kite, it's a beautiful day. I love this one because it's sending wishes your way. So that's a really nice sentiment to go with a kite card. Here's another idea. You could use this, and this is something for a mom or someone out there as you can use this stamp set, the So Inviting stamp set, and it could become, look at that, you could open it up and it can become an invitation to a party. And you could have a piece of Velcro and close it up, but then you can stick it in a card. Isn't that cute? Wouldn't that make a cute invitation to a party? And then lots of itty bitty greetings. I love the itty bitty greetings set because it has lots of little greetings that you can kind of use to put on the front. So there are some inspirations and ideas for things you can use. I'm going to kind of stick with the Above the Clouds because I like this, the clouds. I also dug back into my stash to find this, this stencil. If you take this stencil, this is a cloud stencil, and you use this shimmery white paste, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You can make this really pretty. Look at that, it shimmers, the clouds shimmer. Can you see that, how pretty they shimmer? So this is another kind of front piece that you can make to put your kite. So we're going to make a kite. I made this earlier today, so it's nice and dry and it's ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and put together a kite. So I'm just going to put that aside for now. Okay, so you're going to need, to make this project, you are going to need, and let me move all my stuff out of the way here. If you hear Rocky, I hope can you hear me well? You're going to need a cutting board, and you're going to need a mini cutter. We're going to start with, and I'm going to make 2 cards. I'm going to make one is going to be white and one is going to be purple. Okay. And this is the paper that I'm going to use. And I've already cut out the paper that I want to use for my other card. Okay, so we're going to cut this paper, but I have some other paper already cut out. You can cut out, what I used on this card is, this card, you just use the paper plain. And then here, I actually used some of this. It's kind of a holographic foil. I have some old holographic, just some old foil that I'm going to use as kind of a mat for these. So we're gonna do that, and I think I kind of like the little daisy idea. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do two kinds. One that doesn't have, well, maybe it will have a mat, and one, maybe the other one won't. So here's my cardstock. I really like, it really lends itself well to a 6x6 piece of cardstock to cut all your little pieces and squares. Okay. The first thing that you have to do is you have to have a piece of cardstock that's 4 inches by, and let me open this up so you can see. It's 4 by 10. There's my 10 right there. Okay, 4 by 10 is going to be the sizes of our card. Now, you're going to go ahead and take this, and we are going to score it at 5 inches. That's 10, so we're scoring it exactly in half. I'm going to move my cutting blade aside, and I'm going to score it 10. Okay, or score at 5. It's 10 inches. I'm scoring right down the middle. Score at 5. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is then, well, we're going to mark. We're going to score this at 3 inches. And all I want to do is I want to mark these 2 edges. So I'm just going to run my scoring blade there, and you can see I marked those 2 edges. So if you had a scoreboard, you would go, from 3 to 7. We're going to do the same thing. Or, okay, so I have those marked. Or you can simply go like this and just go, I'm going to score it here at 3, and then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm just going to score it here at 3. And I'm just marking my edges like that, okay? So you can see I have my edges marked. Then I'm going to now make X's. But I have to score the top and the bottom long ways at 2 inches. So I'm going to take this at 2 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing. Score, score. I'm just marking my card. I'm going to do the same thing here at 2 inches. Score, score. Now we're going to start joining these score lines. So we're going to join this score. We're going to join these score lines diagonally and diagonally, right there where that little score line was. And I can barely see that one, so I'm going to rescore it. I have to be able. You have to be able to see it. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to lay this down on one side, and we're going to put the first diagonal line in the gutter, and then we're going to put the other side of this line in the gutter, so that we're scoring across, and we're just going to go across. Okay, so here's the middle, and I've just joined those 2 score lines. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm putting this little score line here, and then this little score line here, and I'm going to put it in the gutter, and then I'm just going to score across. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in half. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing with this one. This one you might be able to see better because it's white. And let's do the same thing. Karen, I'm glad to see that you're with us. I was sorry we really missed you at the workshop. I don't see Tina tonight. Let's see, I gotta find, where's that little, there it is. I gotta get that and that. Oops, sometimes my little score thing falls out. Okay, so now I've got that one scored. Okay, it's perfectly scored. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to fold it. So let's close this. We're gonna use this, but for now we're just gonna set this over here because I'm gonna get my bone folder, and I just want to go ahead and close this off right here. Okay, now we have this mark right here at the bottom. So we're going to take our scoreboard back in, and I'm going to line up that bottom score and then this tip here. I'm going to line that up, and I'm not going to use my score. I'm going to use my cutting blade, and I'm going to cut that. And this is how I make my kite. Now I'm going to put the point there. We're going to put the other point there. We're just going to line that up. Okay, so this is the bottom of our kite. And we don't need these pieces, so let me get them out of the way. Okay, same thing over here. You can hopefully see, I'm taking the bottom of this piece, putting it in the gutter, and then that corner. Okay, and the same thing with this one here. Okay, so now I have my kite shape. So let's just move this out of the way for now. So now I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to bend so that I create an origami fold right there. Okay, I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to kind of bend these corners because what I want, and then I'm going to fold the middle in because I want to create an origami fold. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fold that. Now, when I use my bone folder, do you see how sometimes these points can kind of go off? I shift my point. I hold my point right there. And then I use my bone folder and I kind of go up so that I make sure that I crease it. It's going to have a perfect diamond shape there. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing here. See how it gets kind of off. If you just kind of, fold it, it's kind of off. So I want to put those 2 points together, match them up perfectly. I'm going to hold them, and then I'm going to use my bone folder to set my creases so that my kite shape is good. And then I can just go in here and we can just kind of make sure all our creases are tight so that this will lay nice and flat. Okay, so there is our kite. All right, now I'm going to use this cardstock for this, and I am going to put this on white. And the sizes that you need is you need two pieces, and again 6x6 cardstock's good, and those need to be, and let me make sure I check my directions here. These 2 rectangles need to be 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then I have the same dimension here. They all measure the same, and then I have I should have at least 4, and then I'm going to have 4, and these are 1 3/4 squared. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and cut the cardstock for this one, and I'm going to bring out my. Well, I don't think I need that. I think I'm going to use this foil, and I'm going to use this paper. So what I want to do here is I want to take this and go to 1 3/4, and I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to do again 1 3/4. And then they're going to be 1 3/4 squared. So I'm going to have 1 3/4 squared. And you know, if you got a good cutter, you should be able to double up your cardstock. And this is a very good little cutter. It's going to be 1 3/4, and that's going to be 2 3/4 because I'm making my triangles. And that's going to be 2 3/4. Huh? Anybody have a favorite? My favorite's the poinsettias. I can't wait to do that one. I think that's just oh so great. Okay, this is my DSP. Now, because this is being cut at 1 3/4, in order to layer, I'm going to cut this at 1 1/2. So it's going to be 1 1/2. Two 2.5 should be my piece here. That should be 2.5, and it is perfect. Okay, so now I have my pieces for, but we're not done. So we're going to take these little squares, okay, and we're going to start with these the big triangles right here. And I'm going to have to, we're going to put 2 triangles on the bottom of our kite. So we want to cut this triangle. We're going to cut this way from this corner to that corner. And I just line my corners up. And that's going to make my piece right there. And then this one, if I want a different side, right? If I want a different side, because I can turn these over, I want to go ahead and put this one, let's see, this one to this one. All right, and this is going to give us these 2 sides. Now, you just got to kind of play with it. And now I'm going to cut these. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these in half. These are going to be, I'm taking my squares and I'm going to make triangles out of them. So I'm just going to put them in my cutter. There we go. And then just put these in my cutter and I'm going to cut them. So there's a lot of cutting of triangles, but after you get all your triangles, it's really not that hard. I don't think I'm going to use the mats for those. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the mats for this because this works out fine. So now I have to cut these in triangles. So this one is going to go here. So this is going to be, I'm just kind of visualizing what my triangle is going to look like. So I want to cut it from this side to that side. Because here's the deal. If you cut one, you can't use the other side. This is the other side. You see that? Because you'd have to turn it over to use the other side. So when you have one-sided cardstock, you have to be very deliberate about how you cut your pieces so that you get the pieces on the you get the pieces on the top. So this one we're going to cut from here to here. And that is going to give us our piece for the bottom. Then we're going to cut these. I'm going to cut this one here and here. Now, if I don't care about what side goes up on my kite. Okay, I got my kite here. If I don't care what side goes up, then I can go ahead and put this side here and then flip this side over. But if I do care, then I have to come over and get my other piece of cardstock and cut it so that I can put it on the other side. So when you're working with cardstock that is one direction, or you need to have just one side, you have to be, and I can, I'm going to put these aside and use them elsewhere. But you have to think about how you're going to cut those triangles as opposed to these squares, because the squares are easy. You can just flip them. They're gonna fit. It's an equilateral triangle. It's gonna fit anywhere. But those right triangles are a little bit more tricky. So now we're gonna put them together. And I'm just going to use some glue. So I'm just taking, and where's my little rubber mat? I got to have, okay. So here's my little rubber mat so I don't get glue all over the place. And I'm just going to, someone used this word, I thought it was pretty cool. They said they're going to dry arrange or dry post their stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. Okay. Right. Okay. All right. I think that works, right? Okay. So I'm gonna put these two like that. So I'm just gonna lay that down, and I'm going to. And it doesn't have to be a lot of glue. We're just going to go ahead and we're just going to lay that down right there. Okay, there's the front of our so there's our kites. We have our basic kites down. Now look how pretty this is going to look if I put it on the front of this, right? If I put it on the front of my nice, isn't that going to be pretty? Or I could do, once I decorate this, I could put it on the front of this. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to finish this off. I'm going to decorate it later because I don't want to run too late. But what you're going to need is you're going to need a hole punch, and you're going to need a 1/2 inch punch. And what I do is I take a piece of, let me show you what I have. I have this, I have some paper here that has, see, it has that adhesive on the back. I'm going to put that aside because I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it as a ring. So let's just go ahead. We're going to put this in here and we're going to punch a hole right in the middle, right? Okay. So there's my hole. I'm going to punch a hole over here right in the middle, or as close to the middle as I can. Okay, I'm going to cut holes like that. Okay. Now let's see if I can get this. And I'm going to cut around the holes because I'm going to make a donut. See that? Making a donut. I'm just taking some scraps that I had from my other card, and I'm using these particular scraps because they have the adhesive backing on them. Because what I'm going to do with my donuts is I'm going to grab my little pick here, and I'm going to pick off that adhesive backing very carefully. See that? Comes off. Now let me just move in so you can see what I'm doing. I took the adhesive back off my donut, and I'm just going to put it like right there. Okay, so I'm kind of building a little bit of strength because I'm going to tie ribbon. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put this one back here. So I've kind of finished that hole that my ribbon's going to go in. That kind of finishes that. So there are our kites. Now, the way this works is we're going to grab some, I'm going to grab some green, and this is old retired green mint macaron. I need about 8 inches. So I'm going to grab about 8 inches, and I'm looking for my scissors. I got 2 pairs of scissors here. I got the pair of scissors that I cut, and then the pair of scissors for my ribbon. I'm going to need that. Okay, so I'm just basically going to, how do I want to do this? I'm going to put this in here. And I'm going to just tie, and I'm not even going to tie a knot. I'm just tying just one thing, and I'm just going to tie this to the back like this. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. I mean, if you want to make a knot, you can, but this isn't meant, it's just decoration. I mean, if you want to paste that down or something, you can do that. But you know, it'd be a great idea is that you could put, no, you can't do it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to grab, and I'm going to use this pretty ribbon. I don't know, what do you think? Should I use this ribbon or this ribbon for the bows? Which do you think are the best bows for this thing? Which would be, they'd be like these bows, or I kind of like the yellow, so I thought maybe the yellow. I'm going to go with the yellow. I'm going to go with the yellow. Now you need 3 inches, you need three 3-inch pieces, and I would cut them, and that's 3. I would cut them straight across. So just cut them straight across like that. Just cut them like that and get 3 3-inch pieces. Okay, and those are going to be our bows. Now, you just go ahead, and all you have to do is just tie the bow. And the reason why you want to just do it flat instead of trying to miter your edge on your bow, just pull it tight like that. That's it. Boom. Okay, that's it. Then go ahead and put your next bow and then just pull it tight. Because when I tried to do it with my other ribbon and I mitered it before I tied it, my edges frayed. So I don't want my edges to fray. So just go ahead and cut them flat. And then after you get your ribbon tied to a bow, then you're going to miter them. Okay, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay, so there I have my my bows. I'm just going to kind of move them out. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold them across, and I'm using, these are my ribbon cutting shears. And I'm going to use my ribbon cutting shears, and I'm just going to go ahead and miter them. And I would not cut any short, I would not cut a piece shorter than 3 inches. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to tie it. I tried. It doesn't work. 3 inches is the optimal size for tying. Okay, now see how cute that is? Isn't that cute? That is just lovely. Okay, and then all we're going to do now is I'm going to grab this punch, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kit 1, 2, 3. I'm going to grab my foam. I'm going to put my foam right here. I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to grab this edge right here, and I'm just going to roll that. I think I have a thing in here that does that better. We're going to pull this one out, and I'm going to put this one in here. See that? You just take this little tool, and then you just spin it around the middle, and that thing just closes right up. And then you can and then we're just going to, I'm going to grab a little dimensional. We're going to put that right there. And then I'm going to grab some glue, and we're going to start stacking this up. I'll put this one here. Layer that one like that. I'm kind of pinching. I'm pinching my my ends up a little bit, okay? And I think that's all I want. I don't need another one. I have this little glimmer piece right here that I cut out of that glimmer paper that I did those peonies last week, and I'm just going to put that right there. And then I should have this punch here, and all I'm going to do is grab some, I'm going to grab a piece of yellow, and that looks awfully big, but I think I can get a piece. Actually, I think I'm just going to grab What do you think? Do you think that looks good, or do you think I should have, I think I should have a yellow. I think I should have a yellow there. Ah, much better. I think that's much better. Okay, and there you go. There's our card. And I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of glue this tail so it comes around my card like that. And I think I'm going to do the same with this card as well. I think I'm just going to kind of, you know, maybe bring this up a little bit. And then I'm going to decorate this one and post it, but there goes that one. And then here's the other one that we made. So there you go. Here are some great ideas for making a kite. I'm going to go with what Jackie said. Okay, Dave, what do you think? I think you're right. I think you got it. Jackie knows. That looks even better. Doesn't that look better? I love that. That looks even better. I'll tell you why I put this here is because I messed up my edges on this card. So I was trying to camouflage it. Oh well. So thank you. So let me know if you have any other ideas. Let me know if you have any ideas. I'll be here next week. I will be putting out some information. Send me your ideas for workshops, and stay well. It was great. I always look forward to these Wednesday lives, and Zoom seems to work really well. I think everything was went well. Let me see if I see any comments. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jackie, for the thing about just the daisy. I think that will make a beautiful card. Very nice. And have a good night, you guys. I'll see you next week. Stay well. Bye.